What is up, guys? My name is Bryce Pruitt, this is the M1 Journey, and welcome to the channel. Alright guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of the M1 Journey. This week I don't need to really introduce myself or the channel, so I'll just get right into it. The market over the previous week kind of had some mixed results. I would say up until Friday of last week it was more kind of worrying. Had a little bit more of a slide, but on Friday things kind of looked up, and then definitely today we saw some really positive gains for the entire day. Some really positive movement that I hopefully will kind of signal an end to this correction we've kind of been looking at. I know some investors had kind of been getting a little bit worried about where things were headed since they're kind of getting COVID concerns reemerging and some things that are a little gloomy on the horizon for the economy overall. But I think today maybe might have been a breakthrough. I'm hoping as we push through the end of September. I know me personally, I saw a decent week. We'll get into that later when I get into the portfolio. As far as what's new with the channel, I actually have created a Twitter and Instagram page for the channel. Both can be followed at bpruitt_YT. I'll provide links to both accounts in the description, as well as provide a link in the channel dashboard. I just wanted to create these to reach out to a wider audience, as well as provide those already within the audience a means of staying up to date with me. When I'm not posting videos, I'll share content on there as well. If I have like important announcements, or if there's major market news that I can't really cover in a video since I'm just doing them weekly. So yeah, feel free to follow those. I'd really appreciate it. And that being said, I guess before we get into the portfolio part of the video, I just want to make the disclaimer that, again, I'm not a financial expert. You guys need to do with your money what you guys want to do. Please use your own judgment, do your own research before you make any commitments with your money. I'm still 20 years old. I have learned a lot, but I'm still always learning. With that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and get into the portfolio. Alright, so let's get into this week's portfolio update for the week. As you can see, we're actually up this week almost $21. We kind of were down throughout the week, but Friday was a decent day, and then Monday today was actually really good. We're up almost 2% on the day, which actually at one point it was up over 3%, so that was very good, but kind of had a sell-off towards the end of the day, which wasn't totally unexpected. I'm pretty pleased to see some gains finally, because the last month has been kind of rough. We were doing well, but then kind of over the last 3 weeks or so, we've kind of had a big slide, but maybe we're kind of picking up a little steam again, and we can close out September on a strong note. My big winner of the week, actually I really had two of them. One was in my dividends, one was in my growth. We'll start with the dividend stock, and actually it was Pepsi. Pepsi was up over 5%, which isn't completely, I guess, unexpected, because I believe their earnings is reported on October 1st. So some people were trying to jump in on that before their earnings are reported, because I would expect that their report will be quite strong, but in the event it's not, I could also see it sell off immediately following if there's not real movement there. And then the other, as I mentioned, is in the growth slice of my pie under industrials, and it would be Delta. Delta was also up 5%. I'm not really sure what's driving Delta right now, but I think they've kind of had some more positive news with more reopenings across the country, even with COVID still going on. Another strong performer I had this week was Apple. Apple, I believe, is up over 4%. I can check that here. Yeah, so Apple's, over 4%, so almost 4.5%, so that's very strong. Very pleased about that, because Apple had really been struggling since they had their stock split, I guess, almost a month ago now. So overall I'm very pleased. Hope it continues over the next coming week, and I can report more gains in the future. So for my Roth IRA, also did a little bit better. As you can see, all time we're still down, but that could change easily in one day. Over the past week, we had a pretty good week. We were up 1.6%, which I'll take any day. And then today was driven a lot of that gain, so 18 for the week, and then almost 15 today. So that's where most of that came from. So my winner of the week in my Roth IRA, I also have Pepsi here, so that was still my winner here. As far as the losers of the week go, I have to switch back over to my long term. And then unexpectedly, I would say, because it's kind of been my loser forever now, and that is my energy stocks. Energy was down a little over 2%, and that was really driven by Exxon, which was again down 3%, and it still continues to be my worst investment I've ever made, but I still can't be too upset because I believe in the long-term prospects for Exxon. When COVID ends, I believe when people start getting out even more than they already are, I can really see Exxon starting to take off because they're a strong company. They're almost too big to fail, and they pay a very, very healthy dividend if they can keep it up over the long term at least. So as far as activity in my portfolio, go here, we can see we actually made a buy this week. So I'd like to thank the 2 viewers who signed up using my link. I got my $20 from the 2 referrals this week, and actually triggered a buy with this dividend, I believe, and then some spare change. So I had 6 buys. You can see 2 ETFs here, and then some more I've been lacking in. Bank of America really got the boatload of it, as well as JP Morgan. So we'll follow up on that later. As far as actually making a real deposit, that was my Roth IRA this week. I deposited $75 today, being Monday the 28th, and that triggered a buy for all 10 positions within my account. As you can see, here's what I bought. So, and then we'll cover, as I said, more of that later, of exactly how much in dividends I'm earning from these purchases. In my Roth IRA, I earned just 1 dividend this week from the, this is a developed markets ETF, and that kind of covers the foreign markets, kind of is keeping an eye on that and has holdings in there. So it's really a more international fund, I would say. And then as far as dividends in my long-term portfolio, we had a decent dividend week. This Dominion one I didn't include in my last video since it came in Monday night. So I got the Dominion, and then SPYD, which is S&P 500, and then Bank of America paid a dividend on the 25th. So pretty good dividend week, and it's kind of adding up. I have $675 in my cash balance. That'll go towards my purchase next week when I have $125 go into my long-term portfolio from my bi-weekly deposit. So as I mentioned, we'll switch over here to the Excel spreadsheet to track where I'm at due to my buys. So between the $75 deposit and the over $40 I actually invested from the referrals, I invested almost $120, and I got back $3.83 in annual dividends, which actually was a yield of 3.21%, which was better than last week. Last week was dragged down, of course, because a lot of it went towards Apple, and Apple doesn't pay a very healthy dividend, or at least a high yielding dividend, but I think over time that'll change. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with the portfolio this week. I'm hoping things will continue. And then the big topic of the day is actually Academy Sports is expected to IPO this week. They're going to raise $250 million. This article, Seeking Alpha, is a good resource for those who aren't familiar with it. I use it quite a lot for the research I do, as well as get different statistics on different stocks. So I'm considering Academy. I have shopped at Academy many times. I have one here in my college town. I think they're a good company, so I'm kind of intrigued by the possibility of maybe adding this to my long-term portfolio. It says here that they're expected to IPO around $15 to $17 per share. So if they're raising $250 million, that's somewhere between 15 and 16 million shares that they're making available. So I might consider this. I'm not really wanting to add too many positions right now. I'm kind of at my maximum as far as my long term, because I have 35 positions already, so I would probably not go past 35. So if that's the case, I may take one out and go down to 34. It would go under my growth slice. So I'm thinking I might, since I don't have anything under consumer staples, I might remove either Target or P&G. Probably Target would be more likely. Target, I believe, is a little bit overvalued right now. Their share price is pretty high. But they do pay a dividend, which I don't believe Academy will be paying a dividend to start out with. Maybe they'll become a dividend payer down the road, but I also could be wrong about that, and I'm just not sure at this time. So that might be something to keep an eye on. I've never actually bought a company at their IPO date. This might be a change of that. I'm not sure which day exactly they're IPOing. That's probably something I need to find out. But yeah, so, and then the other thing to consider is I'm still considering liquidating my holdings in Dominion. I like Dominion, but with them cutting their dividend, I'm just not as excited about them as I once was. So I may change the Dominion to Southern Company, and that might happen next Monday when I make my deposit. But we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, that's what's going on with the portfolio this week. So I think that'll pretty well wrap it up. Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap things up for this video. Before I go, I just want to make a few closing statements. If you use my M1 join link in the description to join M1 Finance, if you create an account and deposit $100 into your account, you will get $20 from M1 Finance. I will also get $20, and this only lasts for 2 more days. Once the calendar flips to October 1st, you will only get $10. This was just a special month for M1 since they reached $2 billion in assets that are invested with them. So they just want to reward people for signing up with them. I think they're pretty proud of obviously hitting $2 billion because that's a large sum. So go ahead and do that, as well as follow the social media pages, both on Twitter and on Instagram. Both handles again at bpruitt_YT. The links will be provided for that as well, both in the channel dashboard and in the description of this video. Then again, always guys, please feel free to like and subscribe. I always really appreciate it. The viewer question of the week, if you'd like to respond in the comments, is what company that is currently private would you like to see go public? Basically, what company that's not on the stock market would you want to invest in if you were given the opportunity? My answer to this would be actually my favorite chain restaurant, Chick-fil-A. I've loved Chick-fil-A for years, and I would eat it all the time if I could. Actually, I mean, I kind of do eat it all the time. There's a location here on campus that I go to quite frequently. But yeah, I've always loved their business and the way they conduct themselves, and I know it'll never happen. They will never go public, unfortunately. But if they did, I would be one of the first people lined up to buy some shares for sure. So yeah, go ahead and drop your response down in the comment section, as well as any other comments you want to leave, both good and bad. If you have thoughts on something you want to share, please do. That being said, I look forward to seeing you guys again in the next video, and as always, thanks for watching.